Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Magic News with Magic Ridge. I'm your host, Ridge. Nice to meet you. And today is March 25th, 2021, and it is the start of Strixhaven spoiler season, okay? Also, there's going to be the mystical archive cards alongside of them. Those ones are not standard legal, but a bonus for sure. Now, I want you to bear with me because these first 6 spoilers would not fit on my list here, so it's going to be a little pain. I got to do a little zooming and stuff. So, first up, we have a Planeswalker by the name of Kasmina Enigma Sage. She costs 1 mana of any color and Forest Island, 3 CC for a legendary Planeswalker, Kasmina. She has 2 loyalty counters when she comes into play. She also has a static ability. Each other Planeswalker you control has a loyalty ability of Kasmina Enigma Sage. Her +2 first ability is Scry 1. Her -X is create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put X +1/+1 counters on it. And her -8 looks like some sort of ultimate. Search your library for an instant or sorcery card that shares a color with this Planeswalker. Exile that card, then shuffle. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Alright. Next up, that one's not too bad. I'm not really into Simic, but that one's pretty cool. Its static ability that all other Planeswalkers have the abilities that does makes it a pretty good Planeswalker. It's top tier, honestly, though, like I said. Next up, we have another Planeswalker, Professor Onyx. 4 mana of any color and black, 6 CC, legendary Planeswalker, Liliana. Hey, Lily. She has 5 loyalty counters, and she has something called Magecraft, static ability. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Her +1 is you lose 1 life. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 of them in your hand, and the rest into your graveyard. Her -3, each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures that player controls. Once again, it's only opponents. Her -8, each opponent may discard a card. If they don't, they lose 3 life. Repeat this process 6 times. Now, Professor Onyx, pretty high cost of 6 CC, but does 2 things you want to do in black. It kills creatures, sacrificing the biggest ones opponents control, and draws you cards. So, kind of does both the things you want to do in black, so that's good. Alright, next 4 before I have a little easier time with this. Alright, next up we have another Planeswalker. We've got Rowan. Scholar of Sparks. 2 mana of any color and a mountain 3 CC legendary Planeswalker Rowan. She has a static ability as well. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. She has 2 loyalty points. She starts out with 2. Rowan, Scholar of Sparks, for her +1, deals 1 damage to each opponent. If you've drawn 3 or more cards this turn, it deals 3 damage to each opponent instead. Very nice. You get an emblem with whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may pay 2 mana of any color. If you do copy that spell, you may choose new targets for this copy. That's a -4. And it looks like on the back of Rowan, we have Will, which is very cool. So on the back of Ronan, I forget what these are called. I think they're NWMNCs or something like that. I'm sorry, I wasn't playing Magic, kind of, really. This was something that came out in Zendikar Rising, I believe, and I really wasn't doing this kind of stuff then, so bear with me, but I believe they're NWMNCs. Does it even say what they're called? I don't know, it's called it's 4 words. They flip cards. You can play both. Alright, so Will, Scholar of Frost, 4 mana of any color and a blue 5 CC legendary Planeswalker. Will. He starts out with 4 loyalty counters. He has a static ability as well. Instant and sorcery spells you cast 1 less to cast. So same thing as the other lady here, Rowan. So this is very cool. I really like this. This is a cool idea. So his +1 is up to one target creature has base power and toughness 0-2 until your next turn. His -3 is draw 2 cards. And -7, exile up to 5 target permanents. For each permanent exile this way, its controller creates a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. This is nice. This is a cool one. Will and Rowan, MWNC, whatever it is. Apologize. Whatever that is. You guys know what I'm talking about. Very nice. Very cool indeed. Next up, we have 3 Mystical Archive cards. So the first one is Duress. Man, I don't know if we need to talk about them too much. There's some that are in Chinese that I didn't bother to get the other ones. So I'm going to be like, I don't know what this is. So during this spoiler. So anyway, Duress, 1 black mana, 1 CC, sorcery speed. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it. That player discards that card. Very nice. The artwork is pretty cool as well. Next up, we have Lightning Bolt. 1 mana, 1 mountain, 1 CC, instant speed. Lightning Bolt deals 3 damage to any target. Very nice. The artwork is interesting. Not bad. This one I'm pretty excited for. We have Time Warp. So 3 mana of any color and blue, 5 CC, sorcery speed. Target player takes an extra turn after this one. So we just received another. So we just got, in Time Spiral Remastered, we just got one of the extra turn cards. So it's cool to see another one. These archive cards, Mystical Archive cards, are very cool. Now I believe I can go to my normal list, so bear with me. Let's see here. Yeah, shoot, what just happened? Did it change again? I'm sorry, I'm not understanding what's going on. Just a moment. Yeah, no, it's fine. Okay, so next up on the chopping block, and everything should go smooth from here, we have Dragon's Guard Elite. It is 1 mana of any color in a forest, 2 CC, creature type human druid. This is a green card. He is a 2/2. He has Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Dragon's Guard Elite. You can tap 4 mana and forest, essentially 6 mana. Double the number of +1/+1 counter on Dragon's Guard Elite. Pretty decent. We have a human druid. They're trying to push the druid tribal in this set. Next up, we have Archmage Emerus. For 2 mana of any color and blue, a blue creature, 4 CC, creature type human wizard, 2/2. Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, draw a card. Very nice. Artwork pretty decent. Next up, we have Eager First Year. 1 mana of any color and a plains, 2 CC, creature type human wizard, 2/2, Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Eager First Year gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Poor white card. Does not nearly as good as the other colors. Very sad, very sad. Next up, we have Confront the Past. X mana of any color and a black, so unknown CC. Sorcery Lesson. Sorcery type Lesson. You can choose 1. Return target Planeswalker card with converted mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Remove twice X loyalty counters from target Planeswalker and opponent controls. Not too bad. Not too... I don't like Planeswalkers, so I'm not going to get into it too much. Next up, we have Pop Quiz. 2 mana of any color and a blue mana, a 3 CC instant speed, draw a card, and a new ability called Learn. So you may reveal a lesson card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand or discard a card to draw a card. So new card ability called Lesson. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see how it goes. You understand what I'm saying? This is one of the Chinese cards that I am not sure what it is, but I'm pretty sure this is the Time Warp. So yeah, the artwork on this is very nice. Like I said, some of these Mystical Archive cards, especially like this one you're seeing on the screen right now, they're printing them in Japanese. So it's not just a Japanese print card, it's kind of something they're doing. So this borderless archive card is Japanese, and it is on purpose. It is for everybody. Next up, I believe this one is Duress. Very nice indeed. We'll just enjoy the artwork for a second. Beautiful. Next up, we have Lorehold Apprentice for a Mountain and Plains 2cc, creature type human cleric, 2/2, magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell until end of turn, spirit creatures you control gain tap. This creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. Very nice. Next up, we have Oscar the Reconstructor for 2 mana of any color and a Mountain and Plains 4cc legendary creature Giant Artificer 4/4 Vigilance. You can pay 1 mana, sacrifice an artifact. Target creature you control gets +2/+0 until end of turn. You can tap X mana of any color and tap this legendary boy to exile an artifact card with mana value X from your graveyard. Create 2 tokens that are copies of the exiled card. Activate only as a sorcery. So it's got its own engine. It's a built-in engine to keep going for that. It's kind of cool. Next up, we have Prismari Apprentice for an island and a mountain 2cc creature type human shaman 2/2 magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Prismari Apprentice can't be blocked this turn. If that spell has mana value 5 or greater, put a +1/+1 counter on Prismari Apprentice. Nice. Next up, we have Stormkiln Artist for 3 mana of any color and a mountain. We have a creature type Dwarf Shaman 2/2. Stormkiln Artist gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control. He also has Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a treasure token. Ooh, treasures. We like treasures here. Next up, and quick shout out. So, if you have not seen my last video and you are watching the spoilers, I have a current giveaway going on. I'm picking 3 winners. So yeah, if you're interested in free booster packs delivered to your door, please check out my last video. Yeah, it was a Time Spiral Remastered booster box opening, so if you have a chance, go check it out. Little gamble, a free chance to win boosters delivered to your door. Also, if you have a little extra time, check out Commander Wars. Me and my friends play Elder Dragon Highlander on the weekends and record the games, and it is pretty interesting. I personally build a new deck every single week to play on the show. So if you have a chance, check it out. I'd appreciate it. Also, I'm on a road to 1,000 subscribers, so please, if you're interested in these videos, you find them helpful. I always do the spoilers every season for every set. I also buy at least 1 box, so if that's something that interests you, please subscribe. Thank you. And back to the spoilers. So we have Quandrix Apprentice for a forest and island 2cc creature type human wizard 2/2 magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a land card from among them and put that card into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in your library in any order. Very nice. Next we have Silver Quill Apprentice for a plains and swamp 2cc creature type human warlock 2/2. The artwork on this card is pretty sweet. Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Very nice. I'm probably going to check out the flavor text on this one. She had spoken the words 100 times, but under the spotlight, in front of everyone, something new emerged, and the crowd went wild. Very nice, very nice. And next we have Witherbloom Apprentice for a swamp and forest 2cc creature type human druid 2/2 magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. All right, Golgari. Now, something very interesting. Sorry, my hair is like a bit of a mess. Interesting. Oh, that looks worse. That's okay. That's okay. We'll just do this for the show. Hold on. Hold the phone. That looks terrible. That's okay. We're not editing this out in the channel. So, we have a new set of dual lands, or whatever you want to call them. So, starting with this one, we have Frostboil Snarl. They're called Snarls. They're dual lands. They're a different type. It's a new thing. So, as Frostboil Snarl enters the battlefield, you may reveal an island or a mountain card from your hand. If you don't, Frostboil Snarl enters the battlefield tapped. You can tap it to add a blue or red mana to your mana pool. Cool. It's nice to see some new lands, honestly. Is it going to be great in Commander? Probably not as great in Commander. Limited? Sure, yeah. It's going to be very good in Limited and other formats where you're playing fast. Next up, we have Fury Calm Snarl. Land, as Fury Calm Snarl enters the battlefield, you may reveal a mountain or a plains card from your hand. If you don't, Fury Calm Snarl enters the battlefield taps. You can tap it to add a mountain or plains to your mana pool. Next up, we have Shine Shadow Snarl. It's a land as Shine Shadow Snarl. My favorite artwork out of all of them. Very cool. Look at that. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Just let's give WotC a hand, Kenny. I'm going to... Yes. Yes, WotC. Very nice. Very nice. So as Shine Shadow Snarl enters the battlefield, you may reveal a plains or swamp card from your hand. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tapped. You can tap it to add a plains or swamp to your mana pool. Very nice. Next, we have Necroblossom Snarl. It's a land. As Necroblossom Snarl enters the battlefield, you may reveal a swamp or forest card from your hand. If you don't, Necroblossom Snarl enters the battlefield tapped. You can tap it to add a black or forest to your mana pool. Next up, we have Vine Glimmer Snarl. Land. As Vine Glimmer Snarl enters the battlefield, you may reveal a forest or island card from your hand. If you don't, Vine Glimmer Snarl enters the battlefield tapped. You can tap it to add a forest or a blue mana to your mana pool. Next up, this was one of the cards I'm not sure if I'm going to know what this is when it comes time, but I believe that's a lightning bolt. So, yep, this is the Mystical Archive Japanese lightning bolt. Take a moment to enjoy the artwork. Very nice. Next up, we have Waterfall Aerialist for 3 mana of any color and a blue 4cc creature type Dinge Wizard. 3/1 flying, has an ability called Ward for 2 mana of any color. So whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter it unless that player pays 2 mana of any color. So I guess Ward looks like a new ability. So it looks like Ward counters a spell unless they pay the mana. Excuse me. Shout out to Aldi's Gridlock for keeping me hyped up. Next up, we have Torrent Sculptor, 2 mana of any color and island, 4cc creature type Merfolk Wizard, 2/2. This card also has Ward 2, so whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, counter it unless that player pays 2 mana of any color. When Torrent Sculptor enters the battlefield, exile an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. Put a number of +1/+1 counters on Torrent Sculptor equal to half that card's mana value, rounded up. Did I get the other side? Yeah, the other side of this MD&MC, whatever it's called there, is Flamethrower Sonata for 1 mana and a 1 mana of any color and a red 2cc sorcery speed. Discard a card, then draw a card. When you discard an instant or sorcery card this way, Flamethrower Sonata deals damage equal to that card's mana value to target creature or planeswalker you do not control. Cool. Next up, we have First Day of Class. 1 mana of any color and a mountain, 2cc, instant speed. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and it gains haste until end of turn. Also has the ability Learn. Once again, you may reveal a lesson card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand, or discard a card to draw a card. That is the Learn's ability. So I think it's actually one or both. You can do the lesson card from outside the game, or you can discard a card to draw a card. So that is the Learn ability. Next up, we have Expanded Anatomy, 3 mana of any color, sorcery lesson. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. It gains vigilance until end of turn. Alright, next up we have Plarg, Dean of Chaos, 1 mana of any color and a mountain, 2cc, legendary creature, orc, shaman. You can tap this feller, he's a 2/2 by the way, to discard a card and draw a card. You can pay 4 mana of any color and a mountain and tap this card. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-legendary, non-land card with mana value 3 or less. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Put all revealed cards not cast this way on the bottom of your library in a random order. He also has a flip side. So I'm wondering if these guys are gonna, these flip guys are gonna be the commanders for the 5 commander decks. Just on an art perspective, I'm kind of digging the Boros. Yeah, so you might see that soon enough. So we have, the flip side is Augusta, Dean of Order, 2 mana of any color and a white, 3cc, legendary creature, human, cleric, 1/3. Other tapped creatures you control get +1/+0. Other untapped creatures you control get +0/+1. Whenever you attack, untap each creature you control, then tap any number of creatures you control. Very nice. Next up, we have Dragon's Guard Elite, 1 mana of any color and a forest, 2cc, creature type human, druid, 2/2. Magecraft, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Dragon's Guard Elite. You can pay 4 mana of any color and forest. I believe I've talked about this card already, so we're going to stop. So basically, this is going to be the borderless version, or maybe not, extended art. I'm not sure what they call this one because it's not fully borderless. It is an extended art, maybe. So yeah, an extended art version. So I believe they're going to have, I've looked up, they have a lot of stuff. They're going to have theme boosters, they're going to have set booster boxes, they have draft booster boxes, and I believe they have collector's booster boxes. So a bunch of all sorts of things for the Strixhaven. Lots of stuff. Alright, and next up we're just going to check this one out as well. This is Professor Onyx. This is going to be the borderless version of the card. We'll take a minute to appreciate it. Not a minute. Very nice. See you later, Lily. Next up, we have Shadrix's Silverquill. 3 mana of any color and a Plains Swamp, 5cc, legendary creature, Elder Dragon, 2/5. Flying, double strike. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may choose 2. May being very important here because I might actually play this as a commander. We will see. Each mode must target a different player. So target player creates a 2/1 white and black. Now this is, okay, Inkling creature token with flying. Target player draws a card and loses 1 life. Target player puts a +1/+1 counter on each creature they control. So this could be like sort of like a, it's going to be cool. You know, you can like do a little talking to your opponents and be like, hey, do you want to draw a card? Do you want to make your creatures bigger? Don't attack me. You know what I'm saying? Next up, we have the same boy again. We have Shadrix's Silverquill in the borderless. Very nice. Next up, we have a token. I haven't seen a token spoiled in a long time. So here is a 3/2 token creature, Spirit. Very weird. Okay, next up we have Yavilda, Dean of Perfection, 2 mana of any color, and a blue mana, 3 CC, legendary creature, Dinge, or, I know what this is, Din, I don't know, Din Wizard, 2/2, you can tap it, you may exile an instant or sorcery card from your hand and put 3 hone counters on it. It gains at the beginning of your upkeep. If this card is exiled, remove a hone counter from it. And when the last hone counter is removed from this card, if it's exiled, you may cast it. It costs 4 less to cast this way. Okay. And on the flip side, we have Nasari, Dean of Expression, 3 mana of any color, and Mountain, 5 CC, legendary creature, Efrit Shaman. 4/4. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of each opponent's library. Until end of turn, you may cast spells from among those exiled cards, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells. Whenever you cast a spell from exile, put a +1 counter on Nasari, Dean of Expression. I like the red side of this guy. Very nice, very nice. Very nice. Next up, we have Kiana, Dean of Substance, 2 mana of any color, and a forest 3 CC legendary creature elf druid 2/2. You can tap it to exile the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it in your hand. Otherwise, put a study counter on it. For 4 mana and a forest, 5 mana total. Create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put a +1/+1 counter on it for each different mana value among non-land cards you own in exile with a study counter on them. Okay, confusing. A little confusing for me. Next we have Imbraham, Dean of Theory. 2 mana of any color and blue, 4 CC, legendary creature bird wizard. 3/3 flying, X mana and blue. Tap this boy to exile the top X cards of your library. Put a study counter on each of them. Then you may put a card you own in exile with a study counter on it into your hand. Yeah, I was originally thinking about playing, these colors. But now I'm kind of looking more towards the Boros or Orzhov colors. Next up, we have Introduction to Annihilation. 5 mana of any color, sorcery lesson. Exile target non-land permanent. Its controller draws a card. Okay, sure thing. Next up, we have Valentine, Dean of the Vein. 1 black mana for a 1/1 legendary creature, vampire warlock, menace, lifelink. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. When you do, you may pay 2 mana of any color. If you do, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. Excuse me. We have Lissetti on the other side of the MDMC. They have another side, so this one is Lissetti, Dean of the Root. 2 mana of any color and forest, 4 CC, legendary creature type, human druid, 4/4. Whenever you gain life, you may pay 1 mana of any color. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Those creatures gain trample until end of turn. So my buddy decided that he wanted to play Golgari colors. Possibly, if we had to choose early, and it looks like this guy, at least this one, is relatively decent, and I'm assuming this might be one of the commanders. I'm just guessing, okay? They usually have 3 versions. I think they spoiled all the versions that could be commanders. Just what I'm thinking. These could be the commander boys. So next we have Shali. It's not Shalai, but it's Shalael, Dean of Radiance. 1 mana of any color and a plains, 2 CC, legendary creature type, bird cleric, 1/1 flying vigilance. You can tap it to put a +1/+1 counter on each creature that entered the battlefield under your control this turn. Boo! As normal, white sucks. The other side of this fellow is Ambrose, Dean of Shadow, 2 mana of any color and black, 4cc, legendary creature, human, warlock, 4/4. You can tap this boy to put a +1/+1 counter on another target creature. Then Ambrose, Dean of Shadow, deals 2 damage to that creature. When a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it dies, draw a card. Okay. Next up, we have Introduction to Prophecy, 3 mana of any color, sorcery lesson, scry 2, then draw a card. That's not terrible. That's a deal. We can deal with that. That one's not bad. Next up, we have Channel for 2 mana of Forest, 2cc, sorcery speed. This is a Mystical Archive card. Until end of turn, anytime you could activate a mana ability, you may pay 1 life. If you do, add 1 mana of any color. Or not any color, colorless mana. My bad. Next up, we have Strategic Planning, 1 mana of any color and a blue mana, 2cc, sorcery speed. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your, rest in your graveyard, rather. Strategic Planning, not great. 2 mana to draw a card. I prefer to draw 2 cards, but it would be good in recursion decks. You're feeding your graveyard, so filling the graveyard is good. Next up, we have good old Counterspell for blue, 2cc, instant speed, counter target spell, and for whatever reason, I am inclined to read this flavor text. One need not know the specific details of a spell to suppress its effect. Simply rearrange the rules of the reality within which the spell operates. And it's by a crazy name. It's one of the deans. Okay. Next up, we have Abundant Harvest, 1 green mana, sorcery speed, 1cc. Choose land or non-land. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a card of the chosen kind. Put the card into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Now this is good because it's green, so it's not a whole lot of card drawing green. Drawing 1 card in green is probably fine. Yeah, I like it. Next up, I'm for whatever reason I decided to get the non-English version of this, but I believe it's Shock. So one red mana, 1cc. I believe it's instant speed for Shock. I can't remember. So Shock is going to deal 2 damage to any target or player, I believe. Sorry for that one. Next up, we have Sign in Blood. It's nice to see a new Sign in Blood artwork. Black, 2cc, sorcery speed. Target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. I would be happy to get a copy of this. Next up, we have Blue Sun Zenith. X mana, then blue. Lots of CC. Instant speed. Target player draws X cards, then shuffles Blue Sun Zenith into its owner's library. Very nice. The artwork on that is also very nice. Yeah. I mean, oh, we're not done. I thought we were done for a second. We have at least 1 more. Now, there may be some more cards spoiled today. It's probably only around 2:30. It's like 3 o'clock Eastern time. So whatever they spoil that I did not share today, I will share tomorrow. So the last one on my list for today is Snakeskin Veil. 1 green mana, 1cc, instant speed. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains hexproof until end of turn. Artwork is pretty baller. I like it. Couple snakes. Lots of cool stuff. Very nice. Very nice. Next up, we've got Day of Judgment. 2 mana of any color and white, 4cc, sorcery speed. Destroy all creatures. Very nice, very nice. Next up, we have Archmage Emeritus. 2 mana of any color and Island, 4cc, creature type human wizard, 2/2. Magecraft, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, draw a card. Very nice. Next up, we've got Crozen Grip, 2 mana of any color, and a forest, 3cc, instant speed. It has split second as long as this spell is on the stack. Players can't cast spells or activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. I'm really starting to like Crows and Grip. This is a very nice artwork. I cannot wait to buy some of this. Next up, we have Urza's Rage, 2 mana of any color, and a Mountain 3cc instant speed. It has Kicker of 8 mana and a Mountain 9 mana total for the Kicker. This spell can't be countered. Urza's Rage deals 3 damage to any target. If the spell is kicked, instead it deals 10 damage to that permanent or player, and the damage can't be prevented. Next up, we've got Growth Spiral for a Forest Island. 2cc instant speed, draw a card. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Very nice, very nice. Next up, we've got good old Cultivate for 2 mana of any color in a forest. 3cc, sorcery speed. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Reveal those cards. Put one onto the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand. Then shuffle your library. Next up, we have Weather the Storm for 1 mana of any color and a forest. 2cc, instant speed. You gain 3 life, and it has Storm. When you cast this spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. Next up, we've got one I'm excited for. We have Dark Ritual for 1 black mana, 1cc, instant speed. Add 3 black mana to your mana pool, but that artwork is on fleek. I'm really interested in that. Love the third hand from coming in, going from the inside out. The eye glowing. Might be my new favorite Dark Ritual artwork. The old one will still always be my favorite, but I definitely want to pick up a few copies of this, if you know what I mean. And next up, we have Inquisition of Kozilek. So it is 1 black mana. Target player reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it with converted mana cost 3 or less. And that player discards that card. Sorry, the one they spoiled was in a different language, so I had to check some things out. Next up, we have Whirlwind Denial. 2 mana of any color and a island. 3cc instant speed. For each spell and ability your opponents control, counter it unless its controller pays 3. Very, very nice. I cannot wait. Yeah. I almost want to buy 2 boxes of this. This is kind of like Kaldheim. If that stimmy comes in time, I am buying 2 of these boxes. Very nice. That way I can try and get every one of these Mythical Archive cards. So I'm going to be buying the set booster boxes. So 30 a box, 30 packs a box. They each have 1 Mystical Archive card in them. So yeah, I'd love to open 60 of those. Can get up to 3 mythics a pack. 4 rares. Very cool. Very cool indeed. So yeah, until tomorrow. See ya!